Okay, welcome to another class on in Photoshop, and today we're talking about camera raw picture processing. I should add that there's so many raw processing softwares. Hmm? I have two favorites. The first one that I really love using is called Capture One. That is a class founder. After Capture One, the second best, well, let me just say, don't let me give them number of best thing. Let me give them, say, I love using camera Capture One because it's Capture One, and or because my mentor uses it, but I use Camera Raw most often than not. But when I have the luxury of time and I want to play around with a lot of things, I want the picture to be I come with to what my Capture One. Capture One is not a free software. You need to buy it. Or I could just jejely use camera raw that is already inbuilt in my what? Photoshop. Alright, so let me try to open. I'll just do a little bit of introduction into camera raw. Just let you see the interface of camera capture one, I beg your pardon. Then we talk about camera raw. So this was the last images we used in our last class. I've not closed it since then. So should we save this picture? Okay, let me save it for the purpose of, I'll just save it as PSD. So we attach the file so you can get it. Class unmasking PSD. I'm sending to the desktop and I'm saving. Okay. Okay, so wait for that to save. I believe Capture One has opened. Okay, so this is my Capture One. This is how Capture One looks like. So it has, this is where you have your own preview. You have a workstation here. Okay, let me just process one raw. Let's say we click on this. No image selected. I click on this image and it's offline. Okay, so this image has lost its original location. That's why I'm saying it's offline. So let's look for an image. Let's look for an image that you can import the image by clicking this place. Uma's wedding. Okay, dollar so should have lost this one. Let me choose a folder or source. I beg your pardon. I'm gonna cancel that and picture, choose a folder from source and go to my desktop. I love to save my pictures in work. 2019 February. Let me pick one from, okay, we're working with Jayoba, so let me just pick one from Jayoba's picture. Okay, so you're going to pick the picture you want to import. Okay, let me just pick one I've not edited before. Let me pick this. Let me pick this. I don't know why I like this picture, but I can't see properly. Import one image. So it's loading, you wait for it to import. So the image has been imported. I click on that image, it appears in the preview panel. Abi? So this is the raw image, then you can start working on it. This is your exposure adjustment points. So why I love this one so much is that it has a unique way of dealing with highlights and shadows. So let me say I increase brightness here. You see the way it uniquely avoids the brightness here. If it's inside Photoshop, this place will have been blown out. But even when I increase the brightness to the highest point, it has the way of what? Managing this one here. Am I communicating? So even if I reduce this, it has a way of what? Managing it. Am I communicating? So it won't touch the place that's too bright. Now let me say I increase my highlights. Reduce my highlights. You see the way it worked on that highlight there. Then I open up my shadows. I wouldn't know, maybe you understand the flow. But in Camera Raw, you're sleeping. In Camera Raw, it has a way of modeling or misunderstanding highlights, brightness, and shadow and black. So here now, it's separated brightness from highlights. Am I communicating? So we can reduce our brightness and increase our highlights. You understand? So we can walk around there. And here, I love the way they separate their level. So their level, you just come here to do it. Instead of, in Photoshop, their level does not have this line here. So here, it just show you how much you're moving, the lines you're moving. Then you can pick. You understand? You can pick from different places on what your highlight should be like. Just walk around different scope like that. You can pick your exposure. You can pick your exposure to reduce it, and so then you have your curve. Do you see the way it treated it? Then that is not today's class. It's just for me to have a brief introduction into it. So in a more relaxed point, we come to capture one properly. So I'm closing the software. Not now, so it doesn't slow down my work. I think this one is already done, so I'm going to be closing this image. Alright, so let's pick one image from our clustered images here. So let's go to open. So I'm back into Photoshop now, in case you have not noticed. Come to work, 2019 February. I'm working with Jayoba. Then let me pick one of his face image where we have a lot of picture depth. So let me use this one and click on open. You see that this image, I've not worked on it before. I don't know how it looks like. So we're going to treat it together and build it up together. So because this image, we are just working on this image from just understanding what Camera Raw is all about. That's the reason why we're opening this image. So I'll be doing a lot of things that normally I skip inside Camera Raw when I know I'm going into Photoshop. You understand? But I'll be doing a lot of it here. The reason why I don't do a lot of things inside Camera Raw before going to Photoshop is because of the singular fact that I know that I can always come back to Camera Raw. Thank you. So firstly, I crop. I want to remove this side, this white. I press enter to crop. Abby. Now, what am I looking at in this image? Now, first, I see that this image it has its own dimension, but I think it's a little bit underexposed. So I'm going to increase the exposure a little. Do you understand? So before and after. P, you press your P for purple or P for Paul. P to do preview. Okay, you can easily press this one for a preview. So the next thing I want to do is, now look at the way the light bounced on this image. There was a normal light, Abby, at this edge of this face. There was a red tinted light, or is this purple tinted light at this edge. So the face here is left in the mercy of shadow. So because I love the depth, I think that was the concept where we snap the image. So I'm just going to increase the shadow a little. Increase the highlight from this end. Am I communicating? Increase the highlight, then increase white a little. Before and after. Now, I'm going to bring up the clarity before and after. So because the clarity has introduced black into this image, I'm going to increase what? My exposure, and reduce what? My highlight, because it's getting too much in this area. So everything is what? A back and forth, back and forth, back and forth process. The setting I'm using for this one might not be suitable for another picture. So every picture have their own independent setting. So I'm going to increase the vibrance because we snap the picture in what? Natural. That is the setting from the camera. The picture was snapped on natural. So it was not on standard, neither was it on portrait, or it was either on faithful or natural. So I look at this image, I saw that the guy is bent a little to the side, Abby. I'm going to correct that with what? My crop tool. So I'm going to bend the image like this and press enter. Do you notice what happened? It has balanced the image. Am I communicating? Next thing is go into grayscale. Maybe HSL, hue, saturation, and luminance. So come to saturation, increase the red or decrease the red as you want. I love to bring down my orange. Abby, now you said this color is what? Purple. So, but in this image is magenta. So we just increase our magenta a little. Abby, then I would want to dip that black, the red, so it doesn't look distracting. Before and after, before and after. But largely, you can see how much you have processed this image now. Abby,
Yes.
you guys are not responding now.
Yes.
So I don't want, normally in inside camera I don't increase my sharpness because you still add eye pass to bring sharpness to the image at the end of the day, Abby. So I will take it back to the original. So when you do anything inside camera raw and you want to take it back to the original, you double click on the arrow. It takes it back to what? The original. It takes it back to the, imagine you've made this mistake, double click, takes it back to the original. So the next thing I want to do is come to this tone curve. I've talked too much. Tone curve. So here you can easily deal with your highlight and your shadow. So I'll be dealing with highlights here a little. Are you seeing differences?
Yes.
It's very minute up here. Do you feel it? Then increase the light. It's too much. Open up my shadow a little. Then check out my before and my after. So the next thing I want to do is come to lens correction, remove chromatic aberration. This picture does not have chromatic aberration because it was this. Let me zoom in so you can understand what chromatic aberration is. Visual system. Do you see this color here? I don't know why it's not, because we snap with a very high resolution camera, so there's limitation to the chromatic aberration that is available. But by definition of chromatic aberration is this: is institution whereby, let me say you snap in the sun. If you snap in the sun has different colors, especially when it bounces on the body. When you look at, I don't know how I can look at it. When you look at the glass, when you look at a glass that is lying down, Okay, when the sun creates a flare, it has rainbow color. Have you noticed? No, you don't notice. You're just shaking your head. You do not know. Are you sure?
Yes.
Like,
When you put on your mouth and there's sun, you splash it up, you see the colors.
you see, that is very good. When you put water in your mouth and you splash it up, you see those colors. Those are aberrations. Those are not the colors you want. But because sun originally come with those kind of color, so when your camera is tilted to a particular angle against the sun or against your light, it creates aberration. So those are the aberration that this removes automatically. So enable lens correction. This is just to fulfill your righteousness. So Nikon automatically dictates for you. You shot with Nikon. Shot is a 50mm 1.8 Abi. So you can do the distort, add vignette to it. You understand? But I'm not gonna be doing that. Take everything back to default. So I think I'm not enjoying this. You're not enjoying it too, Abi? So let's go back here. Let's come back here. And reduce this. Alright, so this is where we are now. Before and after. Before and after. But now note that I love the color of the suit. Of the shoot, because it's not suit. Of the shoot. I love the color of the shoot here. And suits, I beg your pardon. I love the color of the suit because it's black, but now it has exposed it to gray. So what are we going to do? Go to mask. Happy? So we're going to mask, but this one is not masking, it's brushing. So I'm going to go to my adjustment brush. Click OK. Now note that this is what we use to clean the eyes now. Happy? So let's use it for another different purpose. I'm going to be brushing on just the suit. Whatever happens, don't bother. I say don't bother whatever happens now. My system is slow, I don't know why. I don't know why the system is slow. Sorry, let me try to check. Okay, capture one is opened. I'm gonna quit that. Okay, so I'm brushing. Now note that it's removing the color. It's black now, Abi. But the black is not black. It's not charcoal black. Thank you. So I'm still brushing. I hate when systems are slow like this. Nothing frustrates an editor than a sluggish system. Just want me to go and sleep. Okay, I'm still working. Okay, so I'm brushing all area of the suit. Just make sure you don't encroach too much. So I'm done brushing a bit. So this is before and after. Abi? So when I'm done brushing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to return all these ones back to default. Abi? This was the image before we start brushing. Sorry, that was a mistake. This was the image before we started brushing it. So I'm going to reduce the saturation, increase the clarity. Now note, whatever I'm doing now is only affecting what?
The float.
The suit. So I'm going to introduce what? Black. So it's getting too much, Abby. So I'm going to take it back gradually. Sorry. Okay, you think it's better like this, Abby? So let's take it back to beg your pardon. Let me bring this go. Yeah. Hello. I like Birthday Street. Okay, I'm back to class. So I'm clicking that. Reduce the black a little. Take the highlights back, doing the highlights in that structure. Introduce taking light. Introduce the shadows back, Abby. So let's go back here and do our before. System is slow. Before
After.
and after. Before and after. Just on the suit alone. Huh? Abby? Okay, so system is slow. It's just confusing. Alright, so this is where we are now. So the next thing is for us to take back to Photoshop and edit. But that is not today's class. Are we good? So that is the end of today's class. In the next class, we open this image up in Photoshop and do some little bit of adjustments to the image. So our next class will be using frequent separation to iron somebody's clothes. So this suit is a perfect example of a suit that needs ironing. So before we close the class, let me show you what we do in the next class. So just to smoothen the cloth, so we can see that the suit is rumpled here, which is not supposed to be so, okay? On this area. So in our next class, we'll be using Photoshop to what? I'm not treating the face in the next class. I'm just treating what? The clothes. Are we communicating? So that is the end of our class. Thank you for participating. Any question, drop it in the comment section and I will respond to it as soon as possible.